back, Tri-State Sports guys. We're coming to the end of the year. You had a good idea. Let's do like a recap top 10.
We'll do a couple of them for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're Mr. Negative, so you start with the 10 worst people. We had 10 worst people in
I
sports.
don't know why I think I'm negative. It's fine. 10 worst people in sports in 2011.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with of all time, where I had Ron Artest and guys like that.
Yeah, right. This is what's happening this calendar year.
Now, I probably missed some, but these are the ones that popped off my head. Which
I had a very tough time with this list because
I
I tried to go off the top of my head. I don't know.
Number 10, Steve Williams, a caddy of Tiger Woods.
Thought about him.
He bothered me. It's like, shut up, dude. No one would know who you. No one
Nobody
would know who
should
you were
know.
if it weren't for Tiger Woods. No one would know who you
I know
were.
two guys, him and that dude Fluff,
Who's
who also was
yeah,
Tiger Woods'
you're exactly
caddy.
right. So for him to like criticize him because Tiger fired him or whatever,
He's so good about pulling his 7-iron out of the bag.
and now he wants to write a book, which bothers me. It's like, dude, you worked for the guy. This guy made you who you are. Now you want to sell him out?
The tool.
GFY. Number 9, your boy. He's kind of my boy, Carlos Zambrano.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy—he's a bad person.
I don't know. I not think
He
Carlos
threw at
Zambrano.
people's heads in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
in
no,
a situation that his team didn't even want him to. He got ejected. No one even like gave him the pound. Like, thanks for backing me up. He retired mid-game. Retired.
Yeah.
And then either later in the game or the next day, he tried to send like his lackey to come in and be like, "Hey, tell him I'm back." And they're like, "No, you can stay home."
Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
He's a horrible
And
guy.
this is not the first
He's
time
not
he's-
even old. Think about how many times we had problems with that guy. He's like 31, 32.
He can hit though. He
He
pitch
can
any
rake,
game.
dude.
Number 9 is a
That's
combination of
number
all
8.
these. Sorry, this is number 8.
Yeah.
Combination of all these stupid football players.
I'm glad
Your boy James Harrison, Sue.
Oh, I thought I had a different combination
Okay.
football player one. But what do you
I'm
got?
tired of these guys who think they can continually hit people in the head with their head.
I got Sue on my list.
Stomp on people and think it's all right. James Harrison, you're going to paralyze somebody, if not yourself. And don't tell me this is how I know how to play. I hope they one game suspension is not enough. Just keep suspending this guy. He's a moron.
Yeah, no, I know. And
tired
he's
of
not
him.
even, sorry about what he did.
Yes, you're right. I don't want to talk about him. Number 7, football players who just talk and act like they're all that. I just have one person, Deshaun Jackson. He has more.
Deshaun Jackson almost
He
made my
has
list.
more personal taunting fouls than he does touchdowns this year. It's like, shut your mouth. You didn't get your contract because I know you're an idiot.
Right. Right.
Play football.
You run. He's very fast, but he's not. He's a guy.
Yeah.
When the fantasy drafts, we talked to him. I talked to Sean. He drafted him, and I said, he's a guy that he looks like. Oh, his average per game is very good. That's because he'll have one game with 45 points,
Yeah.
and then he'll rattle off 3 8-point games. Yeah, you could have him on your fantasy team. He stinks.
Number 6, we talked about this many months ago. Jim Tressel and Terrell Pryor. You can't trust guys in sweater vests. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
I wore a sweater vest to work today. I almost wore it to the
Of course
show.
you did. Probably lied to somebody while you were there.
Made our company millions.
Exactly.
So
Probably.
I had Terrell Pryor on mine. I thought Tressel was more 2010.
Maybe. The thing is, you can't trust these guys. They're always.
It annoys me that he has a job right now, Tressel. But Terrell Pryor, the way that he said he was coming back to school.
Guaranteed he was coming back.
I'm coming back to school. I'll serve my suspension, and then my man just enters the supplemental draft. That's why he made my list, because that's a horrible.
Yep. Number 5, your boy Manny Ramirez. He got suspended. So what did he do? He took his ball and he went home. And then he said, "Oh, I got bad advice."
Manny made my list.
And then what did he do? He blamed. "Oh, I got bad advice. I'm coming back."
Bad advice. Like, what advice did you get? Hey, dude, you got a 100-game suspension staring
He's
at
going to
you.
come back and hit 230.
You think somebody's gonna pick him up?
100% somebody will pick him up.
Well, you have to. He has. When does he start the suspension though?
That's what we'll find out.
Is it when he gets picked up? Nobody's gonna pick him up and
Well,
just
it's
have
games. It's number of games.
right.
So it doesn't matter if he gets picked up now or tomorrow or a month.
No, but I mean, does it count? Like, so he could just start serving a suspension, being a non.
Oh, that I don't know.
That's
No,
what I'm saying.
I think
somebody has to pick him up.
He'll get picked up. Number 4, I went soccer. Wayne Rooney. This guy.
This is the guy, the scissor kick guy.
Yeah. The thing about Wayne Rooney, I was gonna put.
How do you not like?
I'm gonna
him?
tell you how
don't
I
know
got
anything
here.
about-
I'm gonna tell you how I got here. I was thinking about John Lackey.
Yeah.
John Lackey left his wife, who unfortunately has cancer, and things like this. So I was
like presidential candidate Newt Gingrich. Yep, familiar with that.
or
scenario.
Edwards, your boy
Yeah,
John
yeah,
Edwards, who was
he's a-
moving in with his girlfriend, by the
Yeah.
way.
Should have little piece.
So I started to think about that, and then somehow there was a link to Wayne Rooney. I wanted to get more information.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney cheated on his wife when she was pregnant with a prostitute,
Yeah.
and it just I don't know.
That bothers you?
It hit me it hit me right here. That bothers. You're a bad guy. You do that.
Well, no, he's a bad guy, but I mean,
You're a bad guy if you do that.
I think it'd be worse if he was having an affair. I think
That isn't a fair.
No. An
Just 'cause it's
affair
not a
is
relationship.
no. The emotional part of an affair with like
You know what?
going out to dinner.
You take that up. You take that up with 110 Perry Avenue.
I will. I'll tell my wife. I think it's way worse to have an affair with like a woman that you like
I don't
care
think
about
it matters.
than pay a couple $100
I don't
for a little
think
broad.
it matters.
Well, we differ there. That's why Randy Ruby didn't make my list.
We'll see
I'd
how-
rather them do that than go out and wine and dine some chick.
Yeah, number 3, Frank McCourt. Guy owned the Dodgers.
I should have had him.
Guy owned the Dodgers.
He is one of my least favorite people.
he spent all his money basically just funding like private parties for himself. Like he didn't have enough money.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. Number 2, you're not gonna know who this guy is. You know who John Junker is? I had to look this guy up.
Never heard of him.
John Junker is a CEO. Well, he was the CEO of the Fiesta Bowl. All this guy's job is to put 2 college teams together, go to a parade, and have fun. This guy got fired because he was using the bowl money to fund trips to the strip club.
Yeah.
$1,200. He spent $33,000 on his own 50th birthday party, and this is money that's supposed to go to like the bowl, the colleges, and to charities. And this guy is now like he's a corrupt dude. Like he could go to jail because of misappropriation of funds.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
I never heard of him. How do you know him?
I saw it in Real Sports. Armin Katan.
Yeah.
I think it was Armin Katan. Number 1, just Penn State as a whole. I'm tired of We Are Penn State. This is not a time to like rally. You know what? No one is mad at the guy who went to Penn State in 1996 and he's so proud of himself. Yes.
Yeah.
This is not time for you to get loud. The whole thing that you're representing right now, they're a bunch of frauds. They should all be fired. Joe Pa's falling down. You don't think karma's getting Joe Paterno? He's falling down.
Yeah, right.
He's breaking his hip every 3 days.
Screw him. I didn't even put him on the list because I didn't want to. And I know it's clearly the worst story, the worst people. I didn't even want to give him any because to me, I can't
Exactly.
even think.
Let me
about
hear
it.
your list.
So we had a lot of the same.
That's good.
A couple guys I have. My number 10 was your boy Riggleman, leaving his team in the middle of a freaking season.
He's stupid. I wouldn't call him a bad guy. He's a stupid
No, that's a bad guy.
He's a stupid
That's a
guy.
bad guy. And now, the team that
He hurt himself more than anyone.
the one team that has interest in maybe bringing him on as some sort of consultant.
The Mets, probably?
Of course, the Mets. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Omar Minaya, who's now at the Padres.
Well,
that team will never have a job.
I just don't like the fact that he had some sort of contract problems and he just
Yep.
decided to retire.
Yep.
Screw him. My number 9 was David Stern. I think that he's. I've been a big proponent of him, but the way that he's handled the last couple months and especially the last week
With the Chris Paul?
with the Chris Paul thing, I think it's an embarrassment.
Well, I don't know.
That's an embarrassment. That's a bad.
He wound up getting traded, so I'm not going to say it's embarrassing.
But-
I hear you, though. I hear you.
But to me, I still haven't heard of real.
You want to
valid.
make a fair trade. I hear you. You're totally
But
right.
they have a general manager. That's their job. What do you
Once
think the
again.
general manager of the Hornets was?
Not sure he's a bad guy, but I hear you.
Worst person.
Wow.
Terrible.
All right.
I don't like him.
That's fair enough.
I went NASCAR.
This is people.
Kurt,
the people that fight each other?
Kurt Busch.
Oh, the guy he fights everyone.
Fights
I
everybody.
thought about that guy. I couldn't think of his name. For a second.
For some reason, it just clicked in my head, and
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy. I don't watch NASCAR at all, but the only thing you see
He
is
has road rage.
He's always fighting somebody, and he got dropped by. I think he got dropped by his
Yeah.
team or whatever it
Yeah.
was. But he's just a bad dude. Number 4, I had Rashard Mendenhall for his tweets about the Bin Laden thing. Remember we had this big
Yeah.
thing? It just frustrated me to the point when we started this list, I started thinking of the say what's, like which ones really
Bothered you.
pissed me off.
And he's had a bad year.
And well, actually, earlier on, I had when you talked about your NFL guys, I had the NFL guys comparing themselves to slavery. As
That's a good
and
call.
AP was
And
one of them, and they
yeah.
were all like, we're slaves." this and that."
Absolutely.
So that frustrated me.
That's a
I
good
looked at
one.
it when you said the NFL guys.
That's a good one.
That frustrated me. So I'm thinking about say what's, but then his stupid say what were, and not even that he's saying. His first thing was about why are we all celebrating death? Which whatever you want to say that you're some sort of but Christian or whatever it is. That's one thing. But then he said we've only heard one side of the story. Like there's another side of the story. This guy said that he set up the attacks on September 11th. He said it, and then he declared war on America. Like that's just being.
Those people are ignorant, though. You know that.
But he tried. If you're ignorant, that's one thing. But he tries to portray himself as this great Christian, and he's a bright guy. He does his yoga.
Fair enough.
He does his dancing. Screw
I'm with
Rashard
you.
Mendenhall.
I'm with you. He's a
I'll
moron.
never draft him on my fantasy
We-
team. I don't care. I got the last pick, and if somehow he falls through, I'll never draft him on my fantasy team.
Okay.
Screw him, right? And then I went with and you might not know the name off the top of your head, Javaris Crittenden.
Is that the guy with the guns?
He's the guy with the guns with
Gilbert
Agent
Arenas.
Zero. So he pulled the gun and he got suspended 50 days.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear what this year?
Vaguely, I know what happened.
He
Vaguely.
shot and killed a 22-year-old
Is that
mother
true?
of 4. Oh, yeah.
Like he was convicted of it?
He's in jail for it. I mean, he's been...
Oh, I didn't know he's a judge. I knew that they were looking for him.
No,
right?
no. He's been charged with the murder.
Really?
He's been charged. He's out on like $250,000 bail. But apparently somebody had robbed him earlier in the year. He thought it was a misidentification. This poor woman, 22-year-old mother of 4, gets shot down by this idiot guy. That's a horrible person. That's like the guy who Ray Caruth type
I
person.
don't understand people that are, you know what?
This guy's already had trouble with guns. Like
I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to make sense of it or why you're trying to
yeah,
make sense of it.
it's just so. To me, it's like that guy's
You're talking
just.
about ignorant people. We can't wrap our heads.
That's not
around it.
even. That's just that's an evil person.
Yeah, but he's stupid too.
It's an evil person.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't care what this. Even if he confused a 22-year-old girl with somebody that robbed him. If he got robbed by a 22-year-old girl, then he's got to look himself in
Why
the
is
mirror.
he shooting anybody? Is my question.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But look, you're a big guy. Maybe you rob me and I'm like all angry and I'm like I can't beat him up because he's bigger than me. I got to shoot him. You look at a 22-year-old
Gotta shoot
girl.
him.
I'm not saying I'm thinking that, but you could almost rationalize that. Like I can't physically beat him up, so this is my only way to retaliate. This is a 22-year-old woman. You mistake her for somebody that robbed you for money? Come on. You're a bad
right.
dude.
You're totally right.
You're a bad dude. That's what I got. I don't know.
Good list.
I'm sure. I wish Tony was here because I'm sure Tony would have some great things. He would have had 10 different ones than we all had because
He probably hated
different
people.
things piss him off. Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He hates Hope Solo. I hate
He
Hope Solo.
doesn't.
I hate Hope Solo.
I was trying to think of a way to put Hope Solo on there, but I couldn't. But she was on my bubble. She was an honorable mention. I just don't like her.
Yeah, I don't like her either.
You know what it is? It's her straight torso. Get a couple curves. You're a woman. I don't like anything about her whole thing.
You lost me there. But
All right, go ahead.
when we come back, we're gonna get into the 5 and 10. I'm looking forward.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's go.
We'll be back. We'll try to say sports, guys.
Bye.